Here's the first part we're going to make. It's shown drawn in an isometric view, and our strategy is going to be to make a two-dimensional sketch along the front face here. So we're going to come along here and we're going to draw this as I'm showing right now. And we're going to make sure it's the right size and has the right geometric characteristics, and then we're going to finish that sketch and we're going to extrude out this direction to get a three-dimensional structure. So let's go ahead and do that. So you should be looking at something roughly like this. This is our environment for starting. First thing I want to make sure I do is I come up here to these three lines here and click on workspace units, and I want to make sure that they're in millimeters. So once I've got that done, I can use a keyboard shortcut to get it back to the way it looks at the beginning. Shift 7 will put it in isometric view. So I want to come up here and make a sketch on the front plane, and now I want that plane to be flat. In other words, I want to be looking straight at it, and I can press the N key on the keyboard to have the plane looking straight at me. So let's go ahead and draw that. We can see that this is 1 centimeter here, and then I go up 1 centimeter, and then I go over 6 centimeters, and so on and so forth, and it's symmetric. So let me go ahead and just draw that using the line tool up here. So I'm going to click on the line tool. I'm going to start at the origin here, and I'm going to go over some amount here. I'm not going to worry about the dimensions too much. And as I draw, you can see these little lines appear adjacent to where my cursor is that tell me whether I'm horizontal or vertical relative to the lines that I just made. Let's make this one angled a little bit, and then maybe here, and here, and here, and here. I'll right-click escape line. So here you can see that the interior changed to gray. That means it's a fully closed two-dimensional shape, and I can do things with it. You'll also notice that all the lines, except for these two at the bottom, are blue, which means that they're unconstrained. They can move around. So what I need to do is to constrain all the different ways that this sketch can move around. And I can do that using two ways. I can use these things up here called geometric constraints. Those are very slick. Or I can use numbers. I can click here, and then, for example, right here, I'm going to force that to be 10 millimeters, or 1 centimeter. And now some more of it turned black. And then I can come over here to the, let's see, the equal geometric constraint and click on that 10 millimeter line and this one here, and that'll force them to be the same size. And let's see, I'm pressing the keyboard letter D for dimension, and that gets me back to a dimension. I want to make sure this stays at 10 millimeters. So I'll do that one. And now I can use the equal geometric constraint again to make sure those are the same. All right. I think that was already forced because this was a horizontal line. Okay, here's a good one. So I want this to be vertical. If you look at the picture, we have vertical lines. So what I can do is come over here to the vertical geometric constraint, click on it, and then click on this line, and it'll make it vertical. And same for this guy right here. All right. And now, what about this one? So I believe there's one that is collinear. Where is that? Because I want to make this line here collinear with this line. Or what I can do, there's an easy way to do that, but I wanted to just illustrate that. Let's try, I don't see it here. Let's go ahead and I'm pressing D now on the keyboard to get the dimension back, and I'm going to make this, is this 2 centimeters or 20 millimeters? Let me make that 20 millimeters. Come back here. Oh, it's supposed to be 3. So I made a mistake. So I can come back here and I can double click there and change that to 30, like so. And now I can use the equal geometric constraint again to make this one the same as that in terms of length. Okay. Now what else? Let's go ahead and see what else. So this is 2. So these come in 2 on each side. Let's go ahead and put that one in. So I can either click here or press the D key. I'm going to make this 22 centimeters, and then I'm going to press equal for that one and that one. And you can see it's still not quite right. As you come back here, this only goes up 2, and I think we're up a little more than 2 here. So what I'm going to do is, again, press the D key on the keyboard for dimension, click here, and give this a dimension of 20. Oh, that's not right. Oh, I know what I can do. I can use the horizontal constraint to make sure this guy is horizontal. Boom. And how about the, okay, still missing some things. How about this distance here is 2. Is that what I have here? Yep, 2. Why does it not look correct? It looks too tall. What am I missing? 3, and it goes up 2. No? Yep. I think this distance here, I need to change to 4. So that distance is 4. Let's see what happens if I give this, press D, and then here, this is 4 centimeters or 40 millimeters. There we go. You can see I've got a lot of blue here. So I think what I need to go through is just kind of make sure that that is the same as that. I think it already is. I don't think I've dimensioned that one in the bottom here. So this distance here, which is 6. Normally you wouldn't make this exactly like this. Press D, come here. You wouldn't, yeah. You'd make this a little simpler, but I'm trying to illustrate how you can use constraints. Okay, so that was the last one. You can see it all turned black, which means that it is fully constrained, and I can make this look a little nicer, like this. Maybe if I wanted to document this. And so there's my sketch. And it's, first of all, it's gray, so it's completely closed, which it must be. And secondly, all the lines are black, which means it's fully constrained. So now I can accept that sketch and move on to the next step. And I'm holding down the right mouse button here, and I can move it around. I can press P to get rid of those planes, origin planes. I don't really need those now. And yeah, I think that's correct. So now we're going to come up here to the extrude command. And what the extrude does, if you click on a closed 2D sketch, it will extrude it. It'll move it in the third dimension. We can take this little arrow and we can move it back. I'd like to extrude that way. And let's see how far we go. So we go 5 centimeters in the third direction, or 50 millimeters. 50, enter. And we'll accept that. And Shift 7, we'll put it in a nice isometric view. And there's our part. And before we go any further, let's rename this part. I think this one is Isometric Part 1. So that's the part name down here. This is a part studio, and we're going to talk about that in a little while, of why I have to rename this again. So a part studio and a part are not the same thing. So Isometric Part 1, I think I asked you to do that. Now let's see if we made this correctly by coming down here to the Display Mask Properties. So I've clicked there. And I'll move the Mask Properties window out of the way, and I will click on it, and it will tell me the volume and the surface area. So usually we'll take a look at the volume, and if it's equal to what it should be, then you know you've made this correctly. Now, it showed one thing, if you may have missed it, but it did say that one thing wasn't defined, and that is, what is this part made of? So we can come over here to the part, right-click, assign a material, and you can just, in this little box here, you can type ABS, or this is going to be ABS plastic. So now it's got a certain density and all that stuff. So if I come back to the Display Mask Properties and click on it, it'll tell me now what the mass of this thing is. It uses the density to get that, and combine that with the volume, and it also shows me the center of mass, which you can see is right in the middle. So I hit Shift 7 to get this in isometric view, and I move it aside so it's not obscured by the Mask Properties window. And this is what I want you to show, and first I'd like for you to make this thing not be yellow. So to do that, you just have to get off this here, so you can click below it like that, and it'll go back to its regular color. So this is the point where I want you to get a screenshot of everything. So this is a screenshot, and you can see that your name, my name is up there, the name of the file, the name of the part and the part file, and that's what you want to paste into the slides document after you have completed this. All right, thanks for watching.